assassin. In order to successfully get rid of the police pursuit, can only keep changing her disguises. After the subway arrives at the station, she decisively gets off. She needs to carry out a second outfit change to prevent being followed. The escalator is a blind spot for surveillance cameras. Annie quickly changes her coat, then lets her hair down and takes off her glasses. In just a little over 10 seconds, she appears again in a different style. Just as she is shaking off the police pursuit, Annie finds her partner's car at the designated location. However, when Annie is about to walk over, she quickly notices something is wrong. She sharply notices a scratch on the right headlight. Annie senses danger. The assassin organization would never send a problematic car for pickup, so the driver must have an issue. Annie turns and runs, and even takes out her gun to create panic. As long as she runs into the crowd, she can gain temporary safety. Everything goes as Annie expected. Car does not chase after her. However, what she doesn't know is that the driver of the car is actually her father. Jack, helpless. Jack wants to stop the car and go after Annie, but the police beside him have already raised their tasers. Seeing that he is about to be arrested, Jack quickly gets into the car and leaves the place. Early the next morning, Jack goes to the supermarket and buys rubber gloves and detergent. He thoroughly cleans the car inside and out. He wants to eliminate all traces that he has been there. He was once also an assassin. A few years ago, in order to leave the assassin organization, he used the news of his own death. Then he entrusted his daughter to a friend. But unexpectedly, a few years later, Annie was trained by the organization into a top assassin. Jack knows very clearly the danger on the assassin side, so he hopes to take Annie and leave this dangerous city together. So he decides to make one final attempt. He writes down a set of coordinates on a card. Then he deliberately leaves fingerprints. Just as Jack expected, they still send assassins to retaliate. At night, after discussing with the organization, Annie finally decides to go to the coordinate location to check it out. Just shortly after they enter the building, there is a outbreak. One of the companions triggers a trap on the stairs and instantly loses combat ability. On the other side, Jack takes the chance to run toward the warehouse. His purpose is actually not to kill, but to create a chance to be alone with Annie. Using the complex terrain inside the warehouse, Jack quickly subdues the remaining assassins. He successfully draws Annie to the factory on the mountaintop. After the explanation, Annie finally believes the fact that her father is still alive. However, now she cannot leave with Jack because the assassin organization will not easily let Annie leave unless she is dead.